Hi everyone, how have you been? So today I'm back with a much awaited video about how to be an international nurse, and I will make it into two parts because the details are many and it's quite I think long, but finally we are here and let's get started. So I have several points, a lot of points, because I don't want to uh skip any, and we'll dive right on. And the very first step is identify an agency. There are people who do the first like half of the process independently. Then when they are done with NCLEX, they identify an agency, because agencies make life easier by filing your green card and the rest and relocation processes. So I really don't know much about how to be independent, but I can guide you on how to be with an agency, because I did it with an agency from the beginning. But I think even if you are independent, you can just do things on your own, just like the steps the agency takes. So the very first thing is identify an agency. If you want to be an international nurse using an agency, there are a lot of agencies. No agency is superior than the other. All agencies are amazing. All agencies have their pros and cons. I came with Avant. I have friends all over other agencies and they have made it to the USA and they are thriving. So I will list down the agencies in my description box as well as mention them here. Of course, I'll start with my agency, that is Avant Healthcare Professionals. Then there's Ogrady Peyton International. I have friends from that agency and they are doing good. Interstaff, I have friends from Interstaff and they are also thriving. MedPro U, Westways, Adevia. I have people I know from those agencies and they are also doing good. And I will just list them in the description box so that you can just go and see the one that makes you happy and apply with it. So each agency, they mostly have the same requirements, and they need nurses from med-surg unit, that is medical surgical, OR, ER, what else? Had I written? Mostly those are the nurses that they need, because pediatric and obs nurses, not very much. But oh, they also want ICU nurses. So if you are an ICU nurse, you are needed. Yeah, but I'll also write the requirements. You have to be working in a hospital that has a bed capacity of 100. More than 100, that's a win. But it should be, I think it should not be less than 100. Most agencies want you to be in an at least a busy environment, because they want people with skills and knowledge, so that they can, when you come here, it will be an easier transition. And the nurse to patient ratio over here, it depends with the uh, unit that you are placed in. I think in med-surg is 1:5. In skilled facility or long-term care units, I think it can be one nurse into 15 to 20 patients, because skilled facilities are not acute facilities. They are more of the patients who are there have chronic illnesses, or are or hospice patients, and most of the time is passing oral medications, doing their catheters if they need, their blood works, such things. They're not as acute as med-surg, ICU, OR, or ER. And some agencies require commitment fees, like Ogrady Peyton. They require 200 USD, just to know that they want to know that you are serious. You're not just there taking them for granted. And I believe that fee is refundable afterwards, after you set your legs here in the US. But you can look for an agency that you feel you match with, because every agency has something amazing to offer. Some agencies are faster than others. Some take more time, but I think it's because some have a lot of clients, like Avant and OGP. They have a lot of clients and they may take a longer process than Interstaff and maybe other agencies, but it's okay. Just look at what you want. Maybe if you have some projects back home and you want to take it easy, you can do Avant or OGP. If you are in a rush and you just want to get started and get done with everything, you can try Interstaff. But anyway, everyone's process also is different. You can be in Interstaff, someone might come after you and get to USA even before you, because we all have different paths in life. So whatever your path is, just take it easy and enjoy the process. So after you identify the agency and you draft a CV and apply, most of them will just go to their pages in Facebook or in Chrome, and you'll find a place where they have their link. You can just go into that link, give your details, then after that they'll ask for your CV and your active nursing license from back home. They will give you a written interview, and after you pass the written interview, some are quite intense. Like Avant, I had an intense written interview. Some just want to gauge your knowledge because they know you have never done any NCLEX style questions like Interstaff, so they'll just give you several questions to just gauge your knowledge, but it won't be, they won't throw you out of the program because you have failed that initial written interview. So they'll go ahead and give you an oral interview to gauge your knowledge. Do you really work in a med-surg unit or in an OR? So they'll ask questions to just see what you know. And so after the written interview, you do the oral interview. When you meet the requirements, now you go ahead. Some agencies might tell you to do the English exam, IELTS, first before you start the intense program for NCLEX review. Like OGP, they mostly love when their candidates do the English exam before. Some, even in Avant, like I did my English exam before my NCLEX, but my friend did the English exam after the NCLEX. So it depends. But anyway, you need that English exam before you come to the US, because it has to be used for the visa screening that I will talk later on in the video, and what it entails. So you can do the English exam before or after, and that one is self-sponsored. You pay for yourself, no matter the agency. I think in all agencies you have to pay for your English exam. Then after the English exam, there is CGFNS, that is Commission on Graduates of Foreign Nursing Schools. CGFNS is where your documents, it's like institute or an institution in the USA where your documents are sent so that they can see if you meet the nursing standards of the USA. So they'll ask you to go to your School of Nursing and have them send your transcript, and also you'll be asked to send your nursing license. So that is also self-sponsored. I believe the transcript is between 30 to 50 USD. That is 3,000 to 5,000 Kenyan shillings. Talking in USD because I want maybe someone from another country may be watching and they don't understand in our Kenyan shillings. So maybe that will make it easier. but in Kenya it's 30 to 50 USD. And the license verification in the nursing council, you just go and fill up some papers, then the nursing council will send them to CGFNS. That costs 120 USD for a diploma certificate and 170 USD for a degree certificate. So if you maybe did diploma then did degree, you pay 120 and 170, but if you did just the degree, you just pay 170, because every certificate has to be verified. They also ask you to do fingerprinting, so you'll go to the CID. I believe that is just free. You'll be sent some fingerprint cards. You go to the CID, take some fingerprints, then send them to CGFNS, and they want to put them in their database. So after CGFNS, now it's preparation for NCLEX. This is where the game is. You have to really study. You have to sacrifice. Honestly, it's not a walk in the park, and you have to really study, because NCLEX is a bit different from our nursing council, and it's computer based, and the questions are more of critical thinking, and sometimes it's like asking you which orange is more oranger. They give you twisted answers, and you have to really know how to cancel them out so that you can be left with the right answer. So you have to study. Most agencies offer you materials for study. When I was studying, I was given Passpoint and Sounders by Avant and Eclex RN Review. So I would study from there. But as I was almost taking my NCLEX, I bought for myself UWorld. Some agencies like Interstaff, they give you UWorld, and I believe MedPro also gives you UWorld. But you can also maybe look for other study materials for diversity. You can do ACHA. It's like a new studying material that has come up, and it's really amazing. And OGP gives you Kaplan. So my friend in OGP did with Kaplan and UWorld, because UWorld and ACHA, they are, the way the question styles are, it's like NCLEX, and so they give you a glimpse of how NCLEX will be looking like. And they have amazing rationales. If you fail, you are able to understand why you failed and come up with amazing rationales and be able to understand more. So it's good to sacrifice some little money just for your studies. UWorld has packages of 1 month, 2 months, and 3 months. And 1 month is around 110 USD, and 3 months is around 220 USD. You just sacrifice something small so that you can, it will be worth it at the end of the day, and you recover that money. So as long as it's for your good, you can just sacrifice to buy something. Acha is cheaper than UWorld, so you can also check it out, and it's amazing as well. Other study materials are HESI, and yeah, I think I have said all of them. So once the agency feels that you are ready to take the NCLEX exam, they now give you, they start booking for you the place that you will take your exam. But by then you will have created a Pearson VUE account, where you'll be also, after the agency feels you are okay and the board of nursing feels that you are okay, after CGFNS, you will also be given a board of nursing. The board of nursing that you are given is not necessarily the state that you will go to. For example, my board of nursing was Illinois, but I did go to that state. And most of the time they use those boards because they accept international students. Other boards can be quite complicated, but most of the boards that they use are New Mexico, Illinois, Texas, and I think those, I really can't remember the others, because those boards are not so complicated with international nursing. And once every document is verified, you are given an authorization to test date. And once the agency feels that you are comfortable, you are told to choose a date that you can go take your exam, because we don't have a testing center back home. We have to go either to India, Mumbai, or Delhi. I went to Delhi. Or you can go to Manila, Philippines, and at least now we have a nearer center in South Africa. Yeah, so they will choose for you, the agency will choose for you the testing center, and now you will start making the arrangements of going there. Some agencies help you make arrangements, others just guide you. And so you have to get your visa. It's around $50 to $160. Mine costed $160. It was a bit complicated when I was doing my visa process to Delhi. And I think South Africa is around $80. And you have to pay for yourself, but it's okay. Some agencies pay for your hotel and plane. Some like Avant and OGP. Some agencies like Interstaff, you pay for yourself, the hotel and the plane, but immediately after you are done with the exam, they refund your money. So anyway, at the end of the day, it's a win-win, and it's okay as long as you go and do the exam. Then after NCLEX, when you pass the NCLEX, of course you'll pass the NCLEX, you got God and you got your hard work. We now start filing the green card. The agency does this for you. It's called the I-140. They file the green card for you, and it might take 2 weeks to several months or years. Yeah, sometimes you might be offered a rejection, a request for further evidence. A rejection is like a denial, but it doesn't mean that if you are offered either of those, that you will not be approved. Sometimes they just want to do some further investigation. Maybe you said you are married but didn't submit your marriage certificate, something like that. So they want to have all the details. Sometimes they just deny, not because you did something wrong or the agency applied it in a wrong way, but they just deny for unknown reasons. But eventually you get it. I got mine within 2 weeks, my approval, and I had stayed after NCLEX. I did my NCLEX in August and my case was filed in December. So I stayed September, October, November, almost 4 months when my case was not filed. Some people can be filed instantly, but then it might take time. Some can be filed instantly and within 2 weeks or several days, they have their approval. So everyone's journey is different, and it's okay at the end of the day, as long as we get to live our dreams. So after you are approved, your case is now taken to the next level. That is the National Visa Council. And they have now to process your case. And there in the National Visa Council, you are asked for your name. If you have any dependents like your spouse or children, they have to be included in that case. Your parents, all of them, whether alive or deceased, as long as they are included in your birth certificate, they have to be included there. But I think for the parents, it's so that they can be put into the database of the US Embassy, and it won't be complicated when they want maybe to pay you a visit. They really have to be in their database. For each dependent, you have to pay $350 USD. So the principal applicant, that is you who is doing the whole process, is paid for by the agency. but the dependents, your spouse, your children, you have to pay for them 350 USD. And the case to be complete takes 3 months. So after 3 months, you have your case.